Kemper Profiler Tones and Talks, that tone show, episode 14. Looking at the sounds from that tone show video, number 14, of course. Check it out on YouTube. And here's Thomas Dill with me again, and we look at what he did to create these tones. But first, here's the video. Yeah, this tone, it triggered a lot of tracks I know, but I couldn't put names to it. You said Chaka Khan, Mezzo Forte, and a lot of these funk, soul, huge brass bands from, what was it, late 80s or so?
80s, yeah. My inspiration on that is always Michael Jackson. The great guitar players are on the Michael Jackson records, especially one that not everybody knows. His name is David Williams. And he played this great guitar solo on Billie Jean. With that, 80s guitar tone. 80s clean. If you have some multi-effect for something like with amp simulation and 80s clean, you get that sound. So this is typical for those clean single note funky pop sounds. Paul Jackson Jr. is another one who created this very typical tone.
He's been spotted with the Profiler every once in a while, by the way, also. Mr. Jackson Jr. And but this here is a little bit more, how would you call it? It's that sound on steroids. Because, you said, what did we put to the video? Super clean micro pitch. Because you did something to even spice it up a little bit. Because it's spongy, it's funky, it's super clean, but it has some additional stuff in terms of chorus or whatever that is. We will find out in a bit. And it also has this punch, this low end punch. It's really meaty and spongy and spanky. So what did you do there?
I found something special. Those 80s clean tones were created almost with a strut in split position. So normally the neck pickup and the middle pickup, or the the bridge pickup and the middle pickup. And they played it through a DI box straight into the desk, no guitar amp. So what you get is more higher frequencies and no room information. Very interesting. So normally when you record an amp, you get a little bit of room even if you take close miking and some room information. And with a DI'd guitar signal, you don't get that. So the guitar is here. And sometimes they put some reverb on it to get it a little bit back, but you have this punch of from the direct sounding. So the guitar is near and stays some kind of back with a reverb. And then they put a compressor on, because you need to shape the dynamic range a little bit, so that the soft picked notes are raised up, the hard picked notes are turned down a little bit. So you get almost the ghost notes are really loud. You normally don't hear them, but they are very important for these parts. For these things, and without a compressor, you don't hear them so much, or that you don't. I would say you don't feel them that much, that groove. And that's what I took. And then sometimes they add a little bit of chorus, or mostly pitch shifted signals, and that's what I'm using in the profiler too. So I open up the box, share the screen, and here we are. As I said, compressor at module 1, then a studio EQ, a booster, micro pitch, and a 2-tap delay, which is turned off. No reverb, nothing. It's a really, you heard it before, a really dry guitar. In German we say furztrocken. And
hard dry. Okay.
Okay, and interesting. At first is I turn everything off. I let the booster on, because the booster is just there to boost the signal, to get the level close to the normal level range when you're using an amp. And what I used as an amp is a LR Bex Venue DI box profile of the iBox for acoustic guitar. And you can find that in Bert Moellendijk's rig pack. It's this one, acoustic finger pick. LR Brick Venice DI. And you see, cabinet name, cabinet is not available. So we only have the DI box here. And here we are. Now we are here. What I was doing is just the gain turned down at 1.3, middle lowered a little bit, presence turned up a little bit, and the EQ position as almost the most of the time put pre. Definition at 4.7, and the amp volume is really raised up very much because I'm playing with the electric guitar. And if you play that rig with an acoustic guitar, the acoustic guitar has a built-in preamp and is louder than the electric guitar with magnetic pickups. So I needed to raise up the volume very loud, very high. And I needed to take the pure booster just to boost the level of this profile. I turn every other thing off. So here is so that gives you these really shimmering clean sounds, sparkling clean sounds without a speaker cap, from a guitar speaker cap. And the next thing is the compressor, which boosts my lower signals. Without the compressor, soft picking sounds like that. The compressor.
Oh, significant
louder.
difference.
Yeah. The hard pick tones without and with.
Yeah, it gets also a little bit more. I call it spongy always when you have the attack, but also the bottom, the tone, the tonal part of it, very close to that hard attack.
And it's important to play the guitar. So I play some palm mute, hit the strings really hard. Not. You won't get that sound. You need a little bit of hard picking and palm mute on that one. So then, again, the rig manager. I added a studio EQ and I lowered down the mid frequencies at 600 Hertz. Without the studio EQ. With the studio. So the lower frequencies are really, not woolly, as I said the last time. Sound really thin and dry and very percussive.
Yeah, spongy, as I call it.
Spongy, yeah. Okay. And to get this 80s sound, I took the micro pitch. For Purple Rain, it's a little bit not enough chorus or pitch shifting, but you get the idea. The difference between a chorus effect and this micro pitch effect is the micro pitch detunes the sound, but it has no time information. So with the chorus, it's the detune is coming and going and rotates something like that. And the micro pitch stays at this detune level all the time. So you have nothing which has another time against the groove. Like that. So I prefer for that sound, for that funky sounds, always the micro pitch. And it's a detune at 8.7 cent. Crossover frequency is very interesting. I set it to 700 so that the lower notes. I will show you. Now the lower notes are not detuned. The C. For me, it's at 700. It's a good value, and I didn't turn the detune so much on. It's at 8.7. You always see here down your original setting for each parameter, which is very nice. So here we are. And that's the sound for this video. I just added a 2-tap delay just to experiment with it, but it's too much. What you can do is to get these original 80s sound, take a single delay and just take the preset digital and do a slightly slapback sound at 129 or lower. Too much feedback. You hear it? Just one note. And it's too much. The mix is a little bit too high. So you get some slapback sound from these, and you get a little bit of room and stereo. No, with a single delay, not stereo room. Therefore, you need a stereo delay. But you get this more, doubled sound with a delay with slapback sounds. Normally, you're using slapback echoes for the rockabilly sounds of the 50s and 60s, but in the 80s they took it too, just to simulate some room or some clack hard delayed effect.
Yeah, I can see some some mullets and some pink suits with shoved up sleeves. Miami Vice style. That's definitely the 80s. With the shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you nailed it completely. Cool.
And this is something also to experiment. Not even with the normal guitar amps. Just taking something different. Bass amps work great for that too, or something without the speaker cap, or turn the speaker cap off and try something clean sounds. That you get more shimmering clean sounds with that, especially for recording. It's hard, I think, to have these sounds on stage, because on stage you need a little bit more muscles, and they don't really have muscles. You saw it. I turned the low mids down and have all of the high frequencies, and sometimes they can't compete with a heavy plate drums and heavy plate bass. Then if you use these sounds, it's better to have the guitar speaker tone. It's not that hi-fi style, but you might hear it on stage. That's very
okay. But this should be tried, because with more people playing with full range systems and stuff like that, it might be that the entire tonal information of the entire ensemble, the band, is a little bit more tidy, so that it might be worth looking at these things and use these tones as a quote, as a nod to the classic 80s stuff, which was of course totally ridiculous, but also it was an era, and it was genre defining, and at that time a lot of people had a lot of great time with music, and lovely memories, I guess.
Yeah. And I know some guitar players back in the 80s, when these sounds were totally hip, they played, I know one from that era, he played a Marshall amp on stage and a full range amp with a rack, of course, and he switched for the clean tones to this full range stack and played these ultra high frequency clean tones. Nobody heard it on stage, but he had fun to play it.
Yeah. I remember, and also, I mean, I guess that was the time also when the Roland Jazz Chorus was used for that stuff a lot, because it was much more clean, and the frequency range was much bigger, and the impact, the character of the tone was so completely different from the typical tube amp signal. Yeah.
You just needed to place a compressor before the amp, turn the chorus a little bit on, a little bit of reverb, and you're done for the sound on stage.
And basically, that came back a little bit. That's what I think. Like the new metal era, let's say late 90s, the Limp Bizkits and the likes, Wes Borland, because he had this rig. It consisted of a jazz chorus, something like Marshall, and some boutique rectified modern high gain thing. And he had also these amazing cleans for the rap parts. And then he switched to, the full-blown ultra-heavy tones. And I think even with Metallica, you could
Metallica, that's what I thought. Metallica did that too. They had the Mesa amps with a V curve on the EQ, and for the clean stuff, they use jazz chorus amps.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else matters. This tone would be the basic.
They recorded a jazz chorus. Yeah,
would be good for that one as well. Yeah, cool. So try this at home. Download that tone show, the rig pack, from the Rig Manager or from the Kemper website, and bear with us when we meet again with the next episode. So thank you, Thomas. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.